well, good morning. I'm here with Nichole Blanck, and we're at her coffee shop, Lallier Coffee Bar. I got my Irish cream. It's really good. What are you drinking today?
I have a white mocha with lavender.
I'm not a coffee drinker, but she's turning me into a coffee drinker here. So, as I promised you, I want to do an interview with her for sturgeon spearing. She is a very good sturgeon spearer, and I commend her for what she uses. She uses a harpoon, and we're going to talk about your harpoon today. So why don't you grab that weapon there and kind of show us what you got.
So this is my harpoon. I've actually had it for a long time. It's very tall. It was from my father many years ago, and I never used it. I always had it as a backup spear and used a regular 5 kind like everybody else. I've been kind of fortunate over the last 6 years that I've gotten 6 fish. And so after my 3rd one, I thought I would, in a sense, make it a little more challenging. And so I made this my right-hand spear, so the one that I was going to use. At the time, my father was alive, and he's like, real confidently, he's like, I know you're gonna get one. And I'm like, how do you know that? Like, I've just been lucky. It's still a sport. It's still all about luck, doesn't matter what you do. And I'd call him every now and then. He's like, did you get one? And I'm like, no. And finally, I did. And I call him, and I'm like, I got one. He's like, I knew you were going to get it. I'm like, I didn't believe how much confidence he had in me that I would.
So how many have you gotten now?
I've gotten 8.
8. I've been going 5 years without seeing a fish. This woman's got 8. Yes. I need to hire her as a guide, I believe.
I've been spearing since I was 12. Got into it with, again, my father. But many of those first years, I didn't get fish for a very long time. I don't think I got my first fish till I was 21. So I actually started paying attention, sitting by myself and maybe not having a cocktail along with, and actually paying attention. So that was like when it happened.
So this spear looks like it's about 10 feet tall. It does detach at the bottom. We'll show them that. You grab the spear, I'll pull this out. So when she hits the fish, this actually goes into the fish. She has flying barbs, which will open up. That'll hold the fish onto the spear. So, and it pops out. I see a chain thing here. This is really cool. So the fish is going to be dangling like this. So probably grab the rope at the other end, start pulling this up. And then you'll probably use a gaff hook to help get the fish in there. So I'm going to put this back in here. So, we can lay it down, I guess.
Yeah, that's fine.
But that is a harpoon that she uses versus what I have. I have a flying head like this with 5 tines. And also flying barbs also. So you can see the big difference. So you got to be a pretty good angle shot on that kind of stuff. But what we were talking about before, you had a fish that was underneath the ice.
Yeah.
And you got this long spear, so give us that story.
Yeah, so that was my 2nd one I got with the harpoon. I was sitting by myself. It was actually my husband's birthday, Scott Blanck's birthday, and I was rushed to get out there because I was making all his food. And actually a friend of ours fell in the lake, kind of crazy. He's like, take this flag, I just moved you, you're like north about this way, but make sure you go around the crack. I'm like, I've never been, I don't know where I'm going. Good thing I have some sense of direction. And so I get on, I go up there. It's literally like 11 o'clock before I even get out to the shack. It was super late. And I'm sitting there and I'm like thinking about everything I gotta do for his birthday party. And I'm like, still watching. I call him, I'm like kind of irritated. Like, I don't think I'm gonna spear till 1. Like, I gotta get out here. I gotta go to your party. And if not 10 minutes after I got off the phone with him, I'm looking in the hole, and it is, the middle of my hole, like perfectly centered, right under the ice. It was the blackest head ever, biggest head I've ever seen. Obviously, it was right there. And so, of course, they can see you, so you got to be careful. So I'm like quietly, I grab my spear like this, and I like go up, and I'm like, well, the spear's so long, it hits the ceiling of my shanty. And I'm like, shit, so I gotta like lay it back slowly. So it's getting the corner, and I just gave her my all. Well, the fish is so high, so now it's like on the spear. So I'm like, what am I gonna do? My husband is miles away from me. I'm all by myself. No one is out there. So I lower the spear back down, and I just hold on and let it play out until I call him to get him to come help me. I actually have a video of him getting in the shack also to help me gaff it.
We might have to replay that somehow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So how big is your shanty?
My shanty is small. It's a 5x8.
5x8, yes. And the size hole you have is about what?
Like 3x5.
3x5, okay.
Or 2.5.
You know we can go bigger.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
As I put up a big one this year, I it looked like a big screen TV down there and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So what other fish do you see when you're out there? Anything?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you see a lot of gar. You know, we depending on the season or how clear the bottom is, you see, oh gosh, walleyes, lawyers, perch. You know, if you're using a camera of some sort.
Right,
you know,
but this year was totally different for us.
Yeah.
We how many people water were you in this year?
We were in about, I'm guessing around 13 feet, I think.
Okay.
Where I got mine.
Right.
But then, I mean, you have your own.
Now that fish was on bottom?
That fish was on bottom, yes.
Okay.
Tight to bottom. Yeah,
Okay.
it was, we knew it was coming in. We saw it on live scope coming in, and sometimes that was like the 10th fish we saw that day. It was a very fun day. Not that all came in the hole, but a couple were close. And,
Right.
And you just get that feeling. I knew it was coming, and so me and him I sat with Scott, and I'm like, so are you taking it or am I taking it? I'm like, well, he did all the work, but at the same time, I still got to do family and kids. I'm like, so I'm like focusing. I'm like, where is it? Where is it? And sure enough, I saw it tight to bottom. And it was kind of crazy when I went to spear it. You know, you grab the spear and I'm pulling over to go, and it rippled the water, and it was so tight to bottom, it's hard to see.
Right.
So I'm like, oh my God, I lost it. And then I caught it last minute, and it was fortunate.
Unreal.
Yeah.
So, is there any questions on there, Kathy? Anybody watching?
Yep.
Okay.
Lots of people watch.
Well, she's a great storyteller, so do you have any more advice or wisdom that you pass along to future student spearers, I guess?
Well, I absolutely hope that it continues. I have my little girl here, actually, who absolutely loves going out fish spearing, as she calls it. It's definitely something, I mean, for me, get your family involved for sure, but like, advice, how to do it, I mean, paying attention is the biggest thing that's helped me. Now that I sit by myself, I don't sit with anybody this year. I did just because of the circumstance. I
But
sat with
you
Scott.
had a father that got you involved.
Yes.
You learned from him. You probably learned from Scott,
Yeah.
and you learned things on your own also
for
doing
sure.
it out there.
Yep, sturgeon are a very curious fish. I'm sure most of you already know using something white or something shiny.
Yeah, what is your
Talked
favorite
about it.
decoy? Kathy has a little sturgeon with a cigarette coming out of her
Oh
mouth.
yeah, so I have hot lips, I call her.
Hot lips, huh?
Yep, I have hot lips. Actually, again, my husband and I one time were out a little later during sturgeon spearing, found out they were hitting on white decoys. This was before we had kids. And he went home and he literally made some janky sturgeon decoy and weighted it out, and we painted them that night. We were up till probably way too late.
Yep.
And I've gotten a lot of fish with that thing. It just dances stupidly, and definitely brings them in.
So you jig your.
I'm a jigger. I never stop.
Okay.
But I'm antsy.
Motion, huh?
Yeah, I keep things
Okay.
in motion. Yeah. But
Yeah, a lot of people say don't touch it because a fish will come, and sometimes fish will come because they see it moving and all that kind of stuff.
I mean, when you know what's coming, I slow down a little bit, but
Right.
I play with stuff the entire time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I can't think of anything else unless you can.
Captain Keller is watching.
Hi, Captain James Keller. How are you doing? This is Nichole Blanck.
Yeah,
She's got
welcome.
Lake Aire Coffee Bar down here in Blanck, Highway 45. So give her a shot. Check it out. And like I said, I'm probably turning into a coffee drinker down here, so it might be.
We got to show Kathy's little. We have
Oh,
to
yeah.
support the season, and of course with my harpoon, we do little speared sturgeon with your drink.
You check that little sturgeon out? Yeah, it's delicious too.
Very
I will
cute.
definitely be back. I would encourage everybody when they take a drive from Fond du Lac to Oshkosh, stop in here at Lake Aire.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that's about it. Thank you very much for letting us come in here and enjoy the coffee. So.
Thank you.